Hey everybody, welcome to Fab Fit Friday on this lovely day in March. When spring starts to come, I start to think about making things that don't have sleeves and skirts and skorts and such, so that's where I think we're going to switch our focus in this in Fab Fit Friday. I want to give you a tour of the skort that I started last week from my pile of scraps, and I want to show you how I finished that and talk about that a little bit. I have to say, when I took the Strippy skirt portion and I sewed it to the top of my shorts, I was really nervous because it looked like a gnarly mess, because I had to stretch the shorts to fit the skirt because it wasn't the skirt from the pattern and it was a little bit bigger, and I didn't want to fuss around with making them equal. So after I sewed it together, I really thought it was going to go in the trash, or I don't know what I thought I'd have to take it apart and fix it, but I'll show you what ended up happening at the end. You can see here I added the waistband, and this is the exact way that I do my yoga pants. So it's basically a double, a strip of fabric folded in half. I sewed it into a circle, and that became my center back waist. And then I found the quarters and I stitched it together. And you can see it looks really nice, which was really a relief because, like I said, I was really worried. What I want to do is just show you this here. I wish I could take it apart and explain what was stressing me out about this. You can see right here, this is the shorts and this is the waistband. So the last step was to sew them together, but before I did that, I just sewed the shorts and the skirt together. Let me just show you. This is the shirt. This is what the shorts look like underneath. Okay, and because I was showing them to you, I actually hemmed them with my cover hem on my serger, so I have this lovely hem. And so this is going to be really comfortable to wear. This fabric is kind of slippery, so I know that this fabric is not going to cling on it. When I hold it up, you can see it kind of, it's drapey and soft. Okay, PG wants to know, is the waistband material ribbing? No, this fabric is actually a piece of my compression sports knit that I had left over. And what I did was I wrapped it around my waist to get a comfortable, sort of a snug, comfortable feeling when I had it around my waist, and then I cut it that length. So that's how I determined the length. So you can try your strip on and then cut it that length. Now, because it was smaller than the top of the skirt, this skirt is not the skirt that comes in the skort pattern. So it wasn't the shorts and the skirt were not one-to-one with each other. So you can see, if you look closely, the skirt is gathered a little bit along the edge, and that's what was creating, when I pinned the shorts to this skirt right sides together, what happened was, after I sewed it, it looked like a gnarly mess, like it was just really the edges kind of curled, and I pressed it carefully and it kind of laid better, flat, pretty good. And then when I put the waistband on, it was actually perfect. But I almost wish I had done it live for you so you could have seen. I feel like I'm talking about a story that I can't share the actual details. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my sewing machine because I just want to show you how I'm going to finish the hem. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I want to finish the hem without finishing the hem, if you know what I mean. I trimmed everything even. Okay, so you can see this is what the hem looks like now, and these seams create a problem for hemming, because if you have to cross over them, every 2-3 inches, what happens is you get a yucky, whether it's a cover hem or a rolled hem. It's just very hard to hem when you have lots of seams that you have to intersect. So instead of hemming it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tack down the base of the seams, and I'm just going to show you that quickly. So first I just need to wind a little bobbin. I inherited this box of threads from a dear friend, and he was really kind of cute. He would take his, so if he had his thread, he would take the thread and put it together with the bobbin. See, so I can find matching threads and bobbins. The trick is to find the bobbin that goes with the actual machine I want to use at the moment. So I have Pfaff, Janome, and Bernina and Viking bobbins in here, so I have to make sure I pick a Viking bobbin for the machine I'm using. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a piece of my adding tape paper so I don't have any trouble with it sucking into the bobbin case. And I just want to stitch a like a bar tack. I'm just going to have it zigzag back and forth, and what I want to do is basically stitch right on the seam allowance. So let me just show you this. And what this is going to do is it's going to keep the seam from coming apart. So I'm just going to stitch back and forth a few times, stop, and go to the next one. And what that's going to do is it's going to keep all those seams from coming apart. And it'll also maintain the flutteriness of this skirt. I did try to do a rolled hem. I tried, you know, turning it up, and all the treatments that I tried really just changed it to the point where I didn't like it anymore. So I figured this would be the easiest way. Alright, so I'm going to go around and finish that later. I don't want to, you know, obviously once you see what I'm doing, you could do that, but you can see where that just will hold that shut without it being changing the hem, you know, changing the flutteriness of the hem. And the knit itself is not going to fray because it's knit and it doesn't curl, so it'll be fine. So that's how I'm going to finish the hem. Up at the top, I may, in fact, sew some of these down as well. Like I may sew down from the waist maybe 2 or 3 inches to keep them all flat. So if I'm wearing a shirt over it, it's not going to pop, you know, I won't be able to see the lines of the seams through a shirt, because I'm never going to tuck this in. I'm always going to wear it with a shirt over it. So that's my skirt.